All right, what's going on, everyone? Swinging Bull here with PB Alerts, and welcome to another one of my earnings stream. The two companies that are reporting earnings that we're going to watch today is United Airlines. They're already getting a bit of a reaction here. Let me go to a lower time frame. I'm on Trading View. I'll go to 1 minute chart. They just had a little pump up to almost $71 a share. They closed the regular session at $67.03. Okay, so they're getting like just pre-earning jitters here. It's right back down to where it closed. I don't think the data's out yet, so this is just kind of preliminary price action. We'll see if it ends up going up or down. United Airlines, okay, yeah, they actually were reporting right at 4 p.m. Eastern. So this is the reaction. Let's go back to the sticks here. So we had a big wick up to almost $71 a share, and it came all the way back down. And now it's sitting here at 69 bucks. So let's give it a few more minutes and see how it shakes out. We got the other company was Interactive Brokers. So IBKR is the ticker symbol. And let me go 1 minute chart on them. They actually just wicked down to 168, kind of popped right back up. So we'll see. Let me go back to United Airlines. So the forecasted data for EPS is 80 cents, and the forecast revenue is 13.49 billion. Their data should be out. So let me just refresh my other screen and see if I got something here, and I can post that on YouTube. Go back to the sticks just for a second while I'm pulling that info up for everybody. All right, so got some data here from the earnings correspondent. Thank you for posting that info. A little shout out to them. Let me just move this over so we can kind of all see the graphic here. So the forecasted EPS earnings whispers was a little different than what's here, but 0.74 was the forecast. Actual EPS came in at 0.91, so they actually beat EPS by 23%. Nice beat on EPS. Forecast revenue 13.18 billion. They did beat revenue just by a little bit, 13.21 billion. So double beat. It's going to be about the guidance, I think, will be the ultimate reaction. Just a couple other stats. The EPS is up 707% year over year. I'll have to confirm that, but that's pretty insane EPS growth. The revenue is up 5% year over year. As far as quarter over quarter, though, the EPS was down 72%, revenue down 10%. But I think most investors look at the year over year numbers, probably a little more than quarter over quarter. Quarter over quarter, you're just kind of zooming in, a shorter time frame there. But year over year numbers look great. So far, United Airlines is having a positive reaction, trading at $69 a share right now in after hours. Let me see if I can get some guidance or anything like that. Give me 1 second here. The implied move for United Airlines was right around $5. So previous reactions, kind of a mixed bag. Let me go back over here to Webull just for a second. I'll go 1 minute chart. Okay, so we got an initial reaction was positive. Looks like buyers are present. Order book is kind of balanced. Order book's kind of balanced out, buyers and sellers. Let me take a look here. I'm going to put a Fibonacci on here just to see where 25% retrace is. Put it at the bottom of this candle right here. And, that first wick up to 71, that might be an anomaly there. So I'm going to put the fib right here, and it's looking like the price is coming up there to test that level. It's right around 70 bucks. So buyers are present. Okay, the order book we do have a buy side imbalance on the order book, so that's good. Should see the price move up from here. Right now it's trying to test that $70 level right now. Let me go back here, and as far as okay, it's coming back up to it just hit $70.60. I guess I will include this wick up here to 71. So this is what we got right there. Stair stepping up, making higher lows. Of course, this is a 1 minute candle, so take it with a grain of salt. But that's the only candles we can work with right now because the data was just released, right? Let me go over here just for a second. Maybe I can do this. So let me see. They were trading just below their anchored VWAP. United Airlines was anchored VWAP just above 80, probably around 81 or so. Let's just take a look here. See if I can get rid of some of these ads. Okay, so yeah, they always do a real good job beating EPS, so there was really no concern there going into the earnings. Kind of a mixed bag with reactions. Back in January when they reported last time, they were basically flat the next day. I mean, down a few dollars a share, down 2% the next day, but nothing crazy. October 15th of last year, they had a 12% move up, so that was a decent move from $64 a share up to 72. July, they had basically flat. They were trading around 46 before that earnings and 46 and some change the next day. So that was a big nothing burger on that earnings. April 16th, decent reaction, up 17%. They were trading at 41 and some change, and they were at 48.74 the next day. So kind of flip-flopping back and forth between positive reaction and then flat reaction. Positive reaction, flat reaction. And I guess we're due for a positive reaction. I mean, don't take that with a grain of salt. I'm just kind of, spotting a little pattern with the flip-flopping of the earnings reactions. But trading right now at a little above $70 a share. It's up 4.6% in after hours. It was up 2% on the day. They actually, let me just scroll up. Their opening move was actually really decent. And then let me go 5-minute chart here. Opening move, there we go. Opening move was decent. Then they kind of retraced a little bit, trade sideways, and now they're catching a bid. So United Airlines, investors are liking what they're seeing. Let me just refresh my other screen and make sure I didn't miss anything else. I also wanted to post some data on YouTube for everybody on the bottom of my screen. Give me 1 second here. Okay, got some good data here with revenue, passenger revenue, adjusted EPS, that kind of thing. Let me see how well this comes out on the YouTube screen, unless I can find something better here. Okay, Q1 revenue 13.2 billion. Okay, a couple notes from United. Our strategy coming out of the COVID pandemic was simple. Build the best airline in the world to attract brand loyal customers. People of United Airlines have executed and built that airline, said United CEO Scott Kirby. United Next is on track, and we will continue to execute our multi-year plan that has allowed United to thrive in any demand environment. It has given us industry-leading margins in the good times, and we expect to expand our lead further in challenging economic times. United Airlines is catching a bid, folks. It's just made a new high in after hours. United Next is on track, and we will continue to execute our multi-year plan that has allowed United to thrive in any demand environment. Okay, we said that already. It has given us industry-leading margins in the good times, and we expect to expand our lead further in challenging economic times. Our ability to win brand loyal customers and the resiliency of our business is a competitive advantage, and we are accelerating our investments in our product, service, technology, and experience to further expand that lead. So some pretty good statements from the CEO, Scott Kirby. Let me see how much of this info I can fit on the bottom of my screen. Yeah, I guess this will work. Hopefully it's not all jumbled together. Let me post this. Okay, it did cut off some of it, but I'll post what I can here. So there's some EPS and revenue data on United Airlines at the bottom of my screen for anyone in the stream that was here for United Airlines. Looks like they got some really, really good data. Just wanted to cross-check real quick what JetBlue was doing, because I know they're trading in the $3 range. Okay, JetBlue is actually getting a positive reaction from this earnings. So that's good there. JetBlue has their earnings on, let me see here, JetBlue, April 29th. So they got their earnings 2 weeks from today. So I'll be interested to see their earnings. But let me go back to IBKR. So just as I thought, the other airlines are kind of benefiting from United Airlines earnings reaction. So that's pretty cool. IBKR, they're getting a negative reaction. They initially whipped down to 168.13. Then they came all the way back up to 175.89, but now it's an obvious downtrend here. You got a pretty good sell side imbalance on the ask side of the tape. Well, it's the order book level 2 on Webull. Sometimes I see errors in the order book, or they don't put all the orders because I cross-check it with the order book from Fidelity and Schwab, and but Webull's good enough just to kind of glance at and see if there's an imbalance there, and it looks like there's a sell side imbalance on IBKR, so that's why we're seeing some selling here, or one of the reasons. Obviously, the earnings data is the main reason. United Airlines, just flipping back this to a second, it did make another after-hours high up to $71.39. And as I'm talking, it just made another new high. It just broke. Okay, it's up to $71.60. So people are scooping this up. They're liking the earnings data. So United Airlines, positive reaction. I don't think this is coming back down. Getting some volatility here on the buy side. It's making new after-hour high after new after-hour high. So this is good. And listen, I know the airline sector has taken a beating lately. Basically, anything consumer discretionary has taken a beating lately. All right, and that's your cruise stocks and of course airlines and stuff like that. And that's because there was a recent increase in recession fears. The percentage chance that the analysts are saying that we may go into a recession has increased over the past few weeks, quite a bit actually, and that's when consumer discretionary took one of they've been taking a beating lately. I've been buying the dip on some of it, just taking a little nibble here and there, not doing anything crazy, but taking a little nibble on some of my favorite consumer discretionary stocks, and I think it should pay off well, and we should see travel increase going into the summer, I think. So maybe take not financial advice, but keep your eye on some of your favorite consumer discretionary stocks while they're down here at the low, because that's obviously going to be the first sector to rebound when recession fears do ease a little bit. You're going to see that sector do pretty well. So just some thoughts on it. But yeah, United Airlines, we got a positive reaction. Good stuff there. I'm liking what I'm seeing. IBKR, it's downtrending. Now we got a pretty big sell side imbalance over here. The buyers aren't looking like they're standing a chance here up against the sellers. So let's see what happened with IBKR. Investors are not liking what they're seeing as far as the data goes. So let me pull up my other screen and see what we got here. So Interactive Brokers misses on EPS. Customer trading volume and stocks, options, and futures increased 47%, 25%, and 16% respectively, but they missed EPS. Let me just check out this document real quick. This is from the transcript. I appreciate you posting that for us, but let me just move this over here and see what we got. So let's take a look. Okay, EPS of $1.94. EPS of $1.88. Net revenues of 1.4 billion. Adjusted net revenues 1.3 billion. Raises quarterly dividend from 25 to 32. So they did raise their dividend, and they declared a 4-for-1 forward stock split. They're doing a forward stock split. They're only trading around around 160, 170 bucks, and they're doing a forward stock split. Interesting. Usually we see the forward stock splits, on the stocks that are approaching like $1,000 a share or something like that, and they'll do the forward split to as a kind of way to make one share more affordable. And of course, us premium sellers and theta traders, we love the forward splits because it allows us to sell cash secured puts with a lot less buying power. So I like forward splits. It's just interesting. IBKR is doing a forward split. They're only trading at 160 bucks. I mean, a lot of the forward splits we see with the bigger companies, it's like they're trading for 1,000. they'll do you know, a 10-for-1 forward split to reduce their stock price down to $100 to make it more attractive, you know, for retail perhaps, you know. Forward split at 160, 170 bucks. Interesting. Not sure why they're doing that, but let's just look at what's going on here. Let me see. A year ago, from today's data, their EPS was $1.61. I came in at $1.94. However, I wanted to look at okay, let me see, commission. Okay, see, these are the financial highlights here, but they're not they're obviously selling off right now. Now they do have a total equity of 17.5 billion. Pre-tax profit margin for the current quarter was 74% as reported and 73% as adjusted. Let's see here, and they increased the dividend. They're going to do they declare a 4-for-1 forward split. Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, let me pull this back over here, and let me see if I got something I can easily post on YouTube. Alpha Sense posted some data for me here, so let me just, yeah, I can just use this as fine. We'll just do revenue and EPS is fine for now. Post this on the bottom of my screen on YouTube. Let's see if it cuts me off a little bit. No, no, I think it's fine. Here, I'll post that. Just got the EPS info in there. So yeah, not getting a good reaction. Actually, investing table. Thanks for posting this info. I'm about to show. This is probably a better screenshot here. So they did beat revenue just by a little bit, but they missed EPS. This one might have a chance of bottoming out and maybe going the other way. I'm just thinking with I mean, their data is not bad. It's not bad, and they increased their dividend, and they're going to do a forward split. So maybe this is one we start, you know, once it bottoms out, it starts trending in the other direction, and maybe gets back to baseline and goes up from there. We'll see. It did come down to about 164 bucks a share. It looked like we got a nice green candle right here. Again, it's a 1-minute candle, so. But, you know, there are buyers present. Looks like there was some demand in the mid 160s. We did have some dip buyers there. Let's see if it can start clawing back. Let me draw it 5 a notch. I just want to see what this 25% is. I'll put it at the top when this red candle here when it started selling off. So, okay, we did get the 25% retrace. That's around 166.81 per share. Just flipping back to United Airlines, just real quick, they did just make another new after-hours high, $71.75. I think it's safe to say congrats to the United Airlines Bulls. It doesn't look like this thing's coming back down. I think, you know, if it was going to reverse, it probably would have done that by now. Kind of trading sideways a little bit. After making that recent high of 71.75. So yeah, congrats to the United Airlines Bulls and anyone else that was holding airline stocks. You should benefit from this move as well. Probably be like a airline sector wide reaction. Obviously, the other airlines might not have as big of a reaction as United's having, but you should see some positive momentum with the other airline stocks. Back to IBKR. So they came down to 164.09 per share, kind of bottomed out, and we started seeing some dip buyers. It did retrace above 25%. It's right around the 167 level. So it's trading just above 167 now. I'd like for some more of these levels to break for me to have increased confidence that this is in fact going to start clawing back and reversing, right? Needs to get back up above 160. You know, there's kind of like 167 to 168 level. That's kind of what it's stuck in the middle of right now. So I'd like to see it back above 168, and the 50% retrace is right around 169.50. It's probably a good place there. kind of lines up with this, my green 21 EMA as well. So 169.50 key level for it to retrace, for me to have more confidence that this in fact is clawing back. But just keep your eyes on it. Again, I think this could be one that probably has a better chance than some of the previous ones we went over, at actually reversing and clawing back, because you gotta figure, okay, so they beat revenue, which is good. They did miss EPS, but they increased their dividend and they're going to do a forward split. So I think with those two pieces of information there, with the increase of the dividend and them declaring a forward split, that could be a recipe where this does start, it bottoms out in the mid 160s and starts making higher lows and clawing back into the 170s. Maybe we see that as the remainder of after hours kind of moves on. And then, of course, we got the pre-market data, and so we'll see what the price does then as well. But United Airlines kind of just hanging out up here, just a little bit above 71 bucks a share, kind of trading sideways a little bit, kind of taking a breather after a pretty good move. As far as the types of moves that United Airline, has been known to make. I mean, this was a nice positive reaction. It's up over 6% in after hours after being up 2% on the day. So it's going to be a solid day for United Airlines. If you're stacking regular session with extended hours, I mean, they're basically, up over 8%, right? So good stuff. Congrats to the United Airline Bulls. It's about 4:20 p.m. Eastern. Just want to take a look at a couple other things here. So it looks like Interactive Brokers, it looks like the mid 160s that could be the bottom for them. Looks like they might have a chance of clawing back here, so that's good. If it wasn't for the increased dividend or them declaring the forward split, my confidence that it would be retracing would be a lot less. But there's a chance. I think it has a good odds, possibly. Look at United Airlines retesting after hours high. Right now, it's at $71.60. The current after hours high for today is at 71.75. It did just wake up to 71.71, but it did get kind of rejected from there. We'll see if the buyers have any juice left, if they got any gas left in the tank, to go ahead and push this above 71.75, ultimately get above 72. Got some levels on the level 2 over here. It's got order size of 9,900 at 72.35. We'll see if that gets pulled or not. Sometimes those orders get pulled, but would like to see the price get above 72.35 if that gets chewed through 8 and up, or do the market makers just pull that order and let the stock fly? We'll see. You're just gonna have to be patient. Keep your eye on the order book, time and sales, see what kind of orders are flowing through there, and might give you a good idea. But I think it has got a good chance to break that 71.75 tonight, perhaps. Levels to the downside we want to see hold pretty clear here. $70.50 would probably be S1, and then I'd say it's pretty good here. I'd say 70 would be S2, so a little 50-cent levels part there, and then I'd say 69 after that. So like 70.50 S1, $70 for S2. I'd say probably 69 for S3. That's what I would look for as after hours continues, because of course we still have another 3.5 hours of after hours price action. So we'll see if United Airlines ends up making a higher low here after a nice positive reaction. I'd be looking for the higher low, $70.50, which is the S1. That'd be a nice higher low, and this thing is going to keep making new highs in after hours, and it's looking like it's trying to make a go at it again. 71.70 is where it got rejected just a little bit ago. Buyers making another attempt to get through that level. So good stuff. IBKR kind of slowing down a little bit, but it does look like the bottom's probably in the mid 60s, right around 164. I think was pretty clear demand. buyer stepped in, bought the dip a little bit, traded sideways for a little bit. So, you know, I would like to see a higher low right around, I'd say 167 would be a nice level for IBKR to form a higher low here in after hours. And then my confidence that this is retracing is going to increase, and that's a good thing. But yeah, good stuff. Almost 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Got a few hundred people tuning in. Streaming on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Got a good little group in Discord here. It's nice to see everybody. Always have fun streaming these earnings streams, and got a pretty good following. I've been doing this for quite a while now, so gotten a chance to meet a lot of new people and share ideas and trade ideas and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, I go by the Swinging Bull on Discord, and I'm with PB Alerts. I'm one of their coaches, and I mainly specialize in advanced options, is what I call them. I target weekly and monthly income using options, and I do lots of multi-leg options, so lots of spreads. So, you know, lots of debit spreads, risk reward on debit spreads. I really like those. I do a lot of credit spreads. We do condors. I run a lot of the wheel strategy, cash secured puts, covered calls on my favorite stocks, that kind of thing. We do dividend capture strategies like the buy right strategy and stuff like that. So if you've gotten your feet wet with options already and you're looking for something more, maybe something more challenging, join our group and tag me in the chat. The Swinging Bull, Coach Bull. Tag me in the chat. I'll come say hello, introduce myself, and we can chat for a little bit. We have a few other coaches as well. If all you do is trade options in the morning, like the opening move, you know, trade the first few hours. A lot of people like trading the opening move. Trade for a few hours in the morning, and then you're done for the day. That's going to be Coach Ethan. He's our option day trader. He trades the open, does a really good job. Members are making money. Everyone loves him. Very knowledgeable and informative about how to day trade the opening move and stuff like that. But that's Coach Ethan. So if that's your cup of tea, go see him. You know, join the Discord, tag him in the chat, and he'll come say hello. Maybe you don't trade options at all and you just trade stock. You know, maybe that's your favorite thing to do. Then you're going to want to go see Coach Mad Maverick. His name is Lee, but his Discord name is Mad Maverick. You know, join the Discord, tag him in the chat. He'll come say what's up to you. He's been swing trading equity stock for a really long time, over a decade, I believe. And you know, he does trade options, and he's really good at that too. But his bread and butter is swing trading stock. That's his bread and butter. And if that's your forte, go see him. Tag him in the chat. He'll come say hello. Look at United Airlines. Just made, and they broke that 71.75. So they literally hit 71.99, 1 penny off from 72 a share. Outstanding. Congratulations to the United Airline Bulls. IBKR, just flipping back to this just for 1 second before I sign off here. They were looking like they were making an attempt to retrace. They got rejected around 168. They're sitting here at 167.50 now. So I'd really like 167 to hold. That's my level where I would like to see a higher low print. And if we do get a higher low print at 167, that will be good for the bulls. And we'll just want to make sure it continues to make higher lows for the remainder of after hours. If it breaks below 167, that's not going to be good for the bulls. Probably we'll get a retested low a day if that happens, which will put it right back into the mid 160s, around 164, 165 area. So that's what I would look for on IBKR. But I'm real happy about United Airlines. Full disclosure, I did nibble on JetBlue down in the threes. I've been wheeling that for years and making some decent money on the wheel on that. And I mean, JetBlue in the $3 range, I just couldn't resist myself. So I did accumulate some equity on JetBlue, and I'll probably start selling covered calls on it and bringing in some income while I wait on the shares to appreciate. So that's been fun, but really liking the reaction on United Airlines. Again, all the other airline companies should have a positive momentum with with this reaction from United Airlines. So congratulations to the people long on airlines. You're going to be fine. I know the sector took a hit recently with the increased fear of recession, but just stay the course. Not financial advice, but the worst thing you can do is panic sell at the low. That would just be dumb. All right, why would you do that? If you have 100 share lots, start writing contracts and selling covered calls while you're waiting. Especially if you got more than 100 shares, for every 100 shares, write a contract. Why would you sit on the sidelines and do nothing? Write some covered calls. That'll at least protect the downside a little bit, bring in a little bit of money, which will help reduce your cost basis on your shares. And it's a beautiful thing. And then once the fear of recession goes back down, you'll consumer discretionary will pop, and you're going to be just fine. If you're holding airlines or cruises right now, you'll be okay. All right. So anyways, I hope everyone enjoyed. It's a little bit after 4:30 p.m. Had fun streaming with everyone like I always do. So yeah, I hope everyone had fun. And again, if you're looking for a new home, check the links in the description. You can join for free. Doesn't even cost any money. Tag me in the chat. I'll come say hello, and then go from there once you're in the free section. If you want to jump right in the trenches, just sign up for one of the coaching. The coaching is only like $30 a month or something, 30 or 40 a month. It's pretty affordable. If you sign up for my coaching, I'll make that back on the first trade. That's no problem. So yeah, links in the description. If you do end up joining, like I said, tag me in the chat. I definitely look forward to meeting you, and I'll see everyone in the next stream. Cheers and have a good night.